Hey guys, it's Mandy and welcome back to my channel. It's just one more bag, 01. I'm here today to talk to you about some of the things I scored at Hermes in Barcelona. So an exciting unboxing today. If you are new here, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to join me. On my channel, I generally talk about luxury bags, luxury travel, wine, and sometimes Yorkies too. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I ask that you please take a moment and do so that you can keep up with me and continue seeing my content as I'm creating it. It does really mean a lot to me. I do love interacting with everyone in the comments and seeing what you have to say. So I wanted to just touch base. I'm coming at you guys from Barcelona right now on my work trip. I can't sleep. It's about midnight and I'm dealing with the jet lag actually. So I figured, you know what? I might as well film this unboxing because when you do VAT tax refunds here to get part of the tax back that they charge, they do sometimes want to see the items. So that would require me to have them, easily accessible in my travel bags so that I could pull them out if it's required. So I'm actually going to do a couple videos. Today I'm going to talk first about what I did in my little shopping trip and what I bought in store. And then my second video, I'm actually going to talk about some orders I was able to get online, and fun surprise, one is a bag that I am so excited to show you guys. So today I unfortunately didn't have a ton of time. As I mentioned, I am here for work, which is the priority. And tonight was the only night that I actually had a little bit of time to myself, for dinner time. So I was able to make an appointment at Hermes, and how I went about that is I actually reached out to their customer service online in Spain. And I just sent them a message through chat and I asked, would I be able to schedule an appointment? I told them the date and time that I was looking for. And they said that they sent it to the appointments team and they would email me if an appointment was available. So honestly, I didn't get my hopes up and I was like, well, that's not going to be great if one is available. And I am a tourist, so I just felt like my chances were pretty slim. However, they did write me back and they confirmed my appointment date and time. You did not have to wait in line, you just go right up to the store. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to do that when I arrived at the store, because the line was literally like almost touching the door and there wasn't anyone outside. So I kind of like pointed to my phone on the side, and then one gentleman saw me and opened the door and I was just like, hi, I actually have an appointment. And they're like, oh, please come in, come in. And everyone was so nice. But let me just back up a little bit and talk about what I was able to do today. So there is a main shopping street here, and I first started out at Louis Vuitton, and I arrived about an hour, a little bit less, before my appointment time at Hermes. And unfortunately, Louis Vuitton had a line outside. And looking at the length of that line, I knew that I would not make it in the store, be able to look at the items I wanted to, and then make it to my appointment at Hermes. And I did mention to you guys that I did place an online order for Hermes, so I wanted to guarantee I was going to be able to pick that up. So I didn't want to risk being late or not being able to make that appointment for any reason. So unfortunately, I decided just to bag it at Louis Vuitton. I did get the opportunity to walk into Versace, and I looked around there. I saw a really cute bag that they had from their Medusa collection. It was a pink tote, and the girl let me know that this is going to be a pretty special bag because it's one of the last ones that Donatella is actually designing because she's going to retire, and I hadn't heard that, so I thought that was pretty cool. I will try to find a picture of the bag online, and if I can, I'll pop it up on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to take many pictures in the stores today. They weren't really as open to that as I had hoped. I did also go into Prada. I wanted to see if they had the re-edition bag. That's kind of the little shoulder bag that has the sparkles on it. Comes in a couple of different colors. That's something I'd kind of been thinking about. I'm like, you know what, I'd like to just really see it in person, touch it, feel it, see the drop length, and if it kind of fits with my body. However, they didn't have it in store. They said, you know, it's from last season. They had one in Madrid, which they could have shipped over here for me, but by the time I leave, it might not make it. And also, as I mentioned, today was really my only day to have a little bit of free time. You know, everybody always thinks it's so fun and exciting to be able to travel for work. However, traveling for work, honestly, is way more exhausting than being home from work. Had a horrible experience getting on the airplane, dealt with some turbulence, and then, you know, it's just pretty exhausting. This trade show that we're at, you know, we got to be at the booth from 9 to 5, then dinner every night from like 6 to 11 with customers. So there's really no time to do anything other than work, which is fine. I do love my job and the people that I work with. However, it would be nice to have a little bit of time to, you know, see Barcelona while I'm here. So unfortunately, seeing the Prada re-edition bag just wasn't going to work out. The next place I went into was Longchamp, and I know that they had a special edition of the Barcelona bag. So I was able to find that. That bag was 290 euros, and I'll put some footage and photos up on the screen here so you guys can see it. They have it saying Barcelona, and then they also have an image of what they refer to as their tomato bread, which if you're from the United States or you're Italian, it looks very similar to bruschetta, is kind of how I looked at it. So I was able to have some of this tomato bread for dinner tonight, and I have to tell you, it was amazing. I did thoroughly enjoy it. So I am still contemplating if I would possibly have any time to go and pick that bag up. I may try to, but again, I just don't know that I will. I did really like the size of the bag, and I thought it might be something cool because my husband and I love to travel so much, and if I do have opportunities to travel for work, something cool to collect from some of the different cities that I go to. So that was the other thing I looked at. And then I went to Hermes, and I have to tell you, I was a little disappointed. You know, you guys probably just saw my Europe wish list video, and I had some ready to wear pieces on there. I had a pair of Orans. They did not have any of the ready to wear that I was looking for. They said they never received it in their store. I also am a size 38 or 38.5 in the Orans, and they literally had one pair, and it was not the pair that I was looking for. So again, that was a little bit disappointing. I also asked if I could see the Ulysses notebook. They didn't even have one that they could show me. They had one on display in a case, and that was it. So I felt pretty much like anything I asked for, they did not have. And unfortunately, you know, it was just a little disappointing. But let's get into what they did have, because I am really happy with my purchases. So the first item, I'm sure everybody knows as soon as you see these what they are. So I got 2 Twillies, and these were so cute. I was really excited when I saw them because I just loved them. All right, so I got just 2 Twillies for my bag. So the one side, it has this really pretty gray on it, and then the horse bit. When I was growing up, we actually had a horse and we had a pony. So, you know, I'm familiar with these designs from the equestrian line that they have. And then the other side is this really pretty yellow. And as you see, there's like a horseshoe on it. It does say Hermes, and I just really liked it. I'm trying to see if this has a price on it. It doesn't have the price listed, so I apologize. I don't know exactly how much this was. I will show you the tag just in case this is something that you are interested in, that you may want to purchase yourself. So that is the first one that I bought. I did buy a second one because I'm someone who likes everything to match. I couldn't ever have a bag that had one Twilly with one design and then the second twilly with another design, that would just drive me crazy. So I did get the second one so I could use it on both handles for my bag. And, you know, I thought that the gray was just really pretty. You guys have, I know you are all well aware of my Rose Sakura Picotin 18, and you know, this gray would match that nicely, and then it does have a little pink rose on it as well. And then the yellow is just a pop of color as well. That would look nice. So that is the first two items that I purchased. Let's go over to this item next. So it does have just the brown ribbon on it. It does just say Hermes Paris. Now I think some people had some ribbon that actually had 2025 on it. And I know that with a lot of my recent unboxings, mine always have just said Hermes Paris, and that was whether I purchased in the United States or, you know, purchasing here in Spain and Barcelona. So let me open this up. And this is something that's completely new to me. I have never purchased an item like this before. So this is one of the Hermes scarves. And I thought this was really cool because it has a whole bunch of different horse designs. I definitely wanted something with a horse on it. And I thought this one was just really fun with all the different designs. So let me try to hold this up and show you guys. All right. And if you look at it, you'll see that the horses have different hair designs on them. And I'm sorry I can't see, but I'm hoping you guys can. I thought it was something just different. And the gentleman I was working with today, I was wearing all black, and he was kind of showing me a way to wear the scarf just kind of around my neck. Just put it like this. And you know, I thought that was really pretty, just something really nice to kind of complement my outfit. So thought maybe while I'm at the trade show, I could add this on. It's a nice neutral color. And I also thought it'd really look beautiful if I did choose to frame it. I don't know if I want to go that direction. I think I'll probably wear it a little bit, and you know, if I find that I'm not really reaching for it or it's just kind of sitting to the wayside, then I really feel at that point I probably will look into framing it. And I feel like it'd be just a beautiful art piece to have in my office, or you know, I was even thinking in my one hallway at the house. So that was the next item. I do have, let's do this one next. So I have this box here. What do you guys think it is? All right. Let's open this up. It's a pair of shoes. What do you guys think I got? So this was kind of on my wish list, but not exactly. So this is a pair of Orans. And I mentioned to you guys that I was looking for the ones with the chain design on it. However, they did not have that. But they brought these out, and the silver sparkles on it I thought were just beautiful. So I did get these. Now these are a size 38. My other shoes that I purchased in America, they were 38 and a half. I did talk to the associate, and I just kind of asked her, you know, what do you think? You know, she looked at my foot and she's like, you know, it's really up to you. I think that this fits you fine and you'll be okay. I did walk around in them for quite a while just to make sure, and it seemed like there wouldn't be any issues. Obviously, the other shoe looks the same as the one I showed you, so in an effort to save time and keep this video going, I'm not going to take that one out today. So I really was happy with that, though. I thought they were pretty cool. I did still really want the chain, but having that silver one looked just pretty. You know, I am a bling, sparkly type of girl, and it's hard for me to resist when they bring out the shiny stuff. It's hard to say no. All right, moving on. I now have two little SLGs here I want to share with you guys. So let's look at the first one. I don't know exactly what this one is specifically, but let's open it up and find out together. All right. It is the Batista wallet. So you guys may remember I did just purchase the Duo Calvi wallet in black. This is Epsom leather, and I wanted to add this on because this will be a better change wallet purse if I need it. I also thought that there was just some additional things I could place in here for storage. You know, I was kind of really thinking of just placing my shout wipe in here and just have it kind of protected a little bit. Also, I do have to take medication daily that I carry with me. I thought I could just kind of put that in its little bag in here and kind of have it secured and not have to worry about it as much. It does have the snap closure, just like the Duo Calvi wallet, so that's really nice. And I figured, you know, this way I'd have it in black to match my wallet as well. So I was really excited that they did have that, which was on my wish list. So I was able to get something at least. And then I have one more item. So let me open this one up to show you too. All right. Yay! It's another Batista wallet. So I also got one in pink. Again, you guys know I have the Rose Sakura Picotin. And then I did buy the Duo Calvi wallet in the Rose Sakura as well, so that it matches. This, however, is a darker shade of pink. I believe it's the Rose Azalea. Oh, I'm sorry, it doesn't say it on here. She did tell me, but unfortunately I don't have it. You know, it does say Hermes Paris, in just a beautiful pink color. And I thought that, you know, I could still use this in any other bag too that I wanted to. It doesn't necessarily only have to be in my Picotin. And then I have the black one as well. So I could be using both of those in my bag if I need to, or I could kind of match the pinks and the pinks and the blacks and the blacks and use them together as a group. So I did also ask if they had any bags, of course, because while you're there, you know, you just have to ask, right? So I was actually paired up with a woman first, and while I was in my appointment, I guess her scheduled time came up to leave because she handed me off to a gentleman then. When I asked her, she said that they had no bags. I had asked her if they had a Garden Party 30 or if they had the Evelyn 16, and I said, you know, of course, if you had a Birkin 25, I would be ecstatic and want that, or even a 30 as well. And she informed me that they indeed had no bags. She said I could, of course, check back while I'm here on my stay. They don't know when they're getting more bags in, but, you know, they can't guarantee anything, but if I'm around, feel free to stop by and check in. As I mentioned, not really going to be an option for me, but, you know, it is what it is. I did get some great items here today. When I spoke to the gentleman then a little later, I did also just mention it to him again because he helped me with the scarf, that my last item that I was looking at when she handed me over to him. And he let me know actually that they have not had any bags for quite some time because Europe kind of shuts down in August. He said they had a lot of bags in August. So if anyone's coming to Barcelona in August next year, you might get lucky. But September probably isn't the time to go. He said that, you know, due to Europe kind of shutting down in August, it's really delaying the supply for them here in Spain, at least. I can't confirm, you know, for anywhere else in the world, but Spain isn't really getting these shipments, at least at this point. So that's everything that I wanted to show you guys from what I actually purchased in store at Hermes. You know, I will be able to get my VAT refund back, which is awesome. So if you guys want any information on VAT refunds, please just let me know in the comments, and I can definitely do a video on that and explain how that works. Also, I can share with you a website that I kind of look at that gives me an estimate of what you would receive back depending on what you're purchasing. So it kind of helps you plan in advance if you have a particular budget that you're trying to stick to. It is very nice. So I would love for you guys to tell me what you think of my items that I purchased. If you have any of these, let me know how it's working out for you too. And if you have not yet subscribed, again, I would love for you to please consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope to talk to you guys soon and see you in my next video. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.